Good evening guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a clothing declutter and a shoe declutter, and today is not just any old declutter. I feel like decluttering these days is a little bit different for me because in the past when I would declutter, it was because I was starting to feel overwhelmed or simply because there was clothing that I wasn't wearing. These days when I declutter, I feel like I'm going into it with different knowledge, and I'm actually using my color season and knowledge of my own newfound personal style that has evolved a little bit to help me make these decluttering decisions. So it's no longer about having a smaller wardrobe or only having a certain number of items or anything like that. It's really just curating my wardrobe based on what makes me feel my best and also what flatters my features by knowing my color season. So if you guys are interested in a long chatty video about how I'm figuring out what I'm decluttering, what I've learned lately, and also a couple tips and tricks for you guys and some examples to show you how different color seasons are in my wardrobe and what works and what doesn't and why it works and why it doesn't, then please stay tuned. And also if you would like to see any content related to beauty, anything with makeup or skincare, please check out my other channel, Beauty with Ilythia, which will be linked down in the description box. And without further ado, let's get started in today's declutter video. All right guys, welcome back. Today's video is just a random wardrobe chit chat, as well as sharing with you guys a few of the clothing pieces I've decided to declutter over the last week or so. I want to do an entire video talking about it, but essentially it comes down to a couple different things, a couple of like epiphanies that I've had, and not only that, but also some shoes that I thought they were good purchases when I got them, and one is not working out. One of them hurts my feet, and just a few different things, but I'll go through in detail and tell you guys why I'm decluttering the things I'm decluttering. So today I'm basically getting ready to work a night shift. I'm drinking my coffee here. I'm really excited because I actually have another package of Arabic fragrances on the way, and I'm going to be doing a unboxing and first impression again of those perfumes when I get them. I think there's like 5 of them, and I'm super pumped for that because my last little Arabic perfume haul turned out to be a pretty good one. Like there was some really good ones in there, only a couple that I think are going to work out for me. But yeah, I'm still really excited to share that with you guys. And then the ones that don't work out, I'm just going to probably try to rehome them, sell them somehow. And so that's coming. And tonight I'm working a night shift, and then I've got a few days off. I can do some other things. And I'm also going to be going through and decluttering one of my dresser drawers as well today. That is a pajama / loungewear drawer. And I think it's just like changing tastes. But then the other two things that I have found that have made a big difference for me and that have influenced my choices in decluttering my closet and curating my closet is my clothing style, like my fashion style, which I'm going to do a video talking about that after, but I'll probably touch on it in today's video. And I'll do a dedicated video on it later on. And the other thing is my color season, something I am realizing that has been making it so easy for me to choose what to keep and what to let go of in my closet. And I'm going to share with you guys like my entire thought processes for why I've gotten rid of certain things. And the whole goal for me is like not to be minimalist. I'm not trying to be minimalist and only have a certain number of things in my closet. The goal is to have a curated wardrobe, obviously. So just because I've started wearing more florals and I've started wearing dresses, and I've kind of made this transition from wearing anything androgynous to wearing feminine clothing all the time. So just because I've made that change doesn't mean that I now want my wardrobe to just grow like crazy and to explode at the seams and for me not to have room for things. I still want obviously a curated, functional wardrobe where everything works. So even though I don't really consider myself a quote unquote minimalist anymore, that doesn't by default make me a maximalist. It just makes me like I'm trying not to declutter for the sake of decluttering or get rid of stuff for the sake of getting rid of it or because I'm trying to keep myself in a certain box. Like I don't want it to be like that. I want things to just feel authentic and natural and genuine, and I want to keep what I like and I want to let go of what I know isn't working, and that's about it. So because I was a true minimalist years ago, I think that since then I've been struggling with like trying to just do what makes me happy, but also feeling like I still needed to maintain a certain way of being for myself, not for an image, but just for myself. And I know that a lot of other minimalist channels have had that same thing happen, where they started out as a minimalist channel, and then when they grew and changed and evolved and decided that they didn't want to be as minimalist, they just wanted to be minimalist-ish and be organized. it was hard for them to figure out what they really were, who they really were. And it was hard for other people, including their audience, to figure that out too. And like I always tell people, I'm very honest and forthright on this channel. I want all the content that I make to be very genuine and very from the heart. I don't ever want to do it because I'm trying to be a certain way for anybody. And also that means I'm not going to be perfect, right? I'm going to appear confused at times. I'm going to appear messy at times because humans in real life are a little bit messy and can be confused. And that's just part of the process of growing and maturing and getting older and wiser and evolving as people, you know? So sometimes it's messy and sometimes it's not. And yeah, I've been going through changes over the last year or so. And I would say that my life is much better now than it was a year ago. I would say I'm in a much better place. I'm much happier. A lot of that has to do with wardrobe as well, like the changes and choices I've made in terms of my wardrobe. But anyway, without too much further ado, I'm drinking some coffee here. And let's get into wardrobe talk. All right, so let's look into the closet at the moment. I'll show you what it looks like. It's pretty organized. And then I'll show you what I got rid of and why. The only downside to having this vanity here in the corner is that I can't open the closet door all the way anymore. So that's a little bit of an annoyance. Ideally, I could open the closet door all the way, so it makes it a little bit darker than I would like it, but that's just the way it's going to be, so that's how it is. So starting on the top, I have got my handbags. I haven't really decluttered my handbags in quite a while. I still have all the handbags that I had, 6 months ago, a year ago. I like all my bags, although I am coming to some realizations about some of them as to why they don't work and why I don't reach for them. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in today's video, and then this is what the rest of the wardrobe looks like. So I've got obviously all my clothes there, and then I've got my shoes, some shoes on the floor because I didn't have room for them. I've got a couple new additions to my winter boot wardrobe. I'll talk about more about that in a second. And then I've got my perfumes on the top and also my jewelry on the top. And then I also have down here's my laundry hamper. I do kind of want to do a little bit of a jewelry declutter at some point too, but I don't know if I'm going to get around to that today. And I will do a perfume collection miniature declutter because there's actually one perfume that I'm going to get rid of that I took off the tray already. Maybe you can figure out what it is just by looking, but that perfume is going to go. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have bought it. I'll do that for another video as well. And eventually I will do like an updated perfume collection, share with you what Arabic perfumes I decided to keep because I think that's really fun. And then this is the other side of the room with my dresser, and that drawer right there is the bad boy that needs to be, actually the entire dresser needs to be organized, but I'm not going to organize all of it today. We're just going to focus on loungewear and pajamas. But yeah, that's what we're working with over there. So I feel like everything kind of does look pretty organized and cohesive and nice. So now I'm going to put the camera on the tripod and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've discovered and what has been really helping me make decisions about decluttering. And then I'm going to share with you the things I've decluttered and why. Ivar, what are you doing? What would you like? What is it that you need? Why are you biting your lips? Why are you biting your lips, Ivar? Huh? All right, so the things that have been impacting what I've been decluttering and why. Number one, comfort to a lesser degree, because I would say that most of my stuff is already pretty comfortable. I don't really own things that are uncomfortable, with the exception of maybe a couple of pairs of going out shoes, which I'm okay with my going out shoes not being the most comfortable shoes because they're only meant to be worn for a couple of hours at a time. They're not something I'm going to be walking around in. But if they are like a daytime shoe, something I'm going to be wearing during the day to go do errands or whatever, I want them to obviously be comfortable. The other thing that has been impacting what I've been decluttering, and I've talked about this in other videos, but I may as well mention it today as well, is the androgynous versus femininity factor, which, as I shared with you guys, the reason I don't like to wear jeans, there's nothing wrong with jeans. Jeans are inherently fine. There's nothing wrong with them objectively, but personally, I don't feel good in them, and I couldn't really figure out what it was about the jeans. And like I told you guys in previous videos, it comes down to femininity. It comes down to me feeling good about myself. And what I have discovered, the reason I don't reach for jeans, the reason I don't reach for more masculine items is because I like to feel feminine. And that is what it comes down to, is I much prefer more feminine silhouettes. And like I've told you guys before, if I'm choosing between jeans and a skirt, I will always choose a skirt. If I'm choosing between jeans and a dress, I will always choose the dress. And I don't think I've worn a pair of jeans, like actually put them on to wear them out of the house, in about 5 years. Literally 5 or 6 years since last time I wore a pair of jeans. And even pants, like there are more dressy pants, but I think I would always choose like a dressy pair of pants because it made me feel more polished and put together than jeans did. So it was leaning more in that polished direction, but still not super, super in the feminine direction. So really it came down to femininity. So that has been a huge influence in my wardrobe lately, is moving more toward feminine pieces, more dresses, more skirts, fewer shorts and jeans and pants. And in fact, if you look at my current wardrobe, I don't have a single pair of pants, a single pair of shorts, and no jeans. I only have skirts and dresses, and then the tops are things that go with the skirts, and the rest are all just dresses, which has been working really well. The other two things that have been influencing my fashion choices, and one of them is a little bit more new to me, and maybe I'll save that one for last. The second last thing is color season. Now, this is something that has been pretty intuitive for me. I would say that if you look at my wardrobe, you can probably guess what side of the color season wheel or palette I fall on. It's pretty obvious if I look at it. And there's actually a couple of oddball things that don't belong in that color season or palette, but very few of those things. So take a minute and see if you can figure out, based on the colors that you're seeing here, where I fall. And I think that the thing about color season is, first of all, I'll tell you, I don't really know my color season. I've never had it professionally done. I did have an online color analysis done, and they pegged me as a cool winter, which is not the case. I do not resonate with cool winter colors. I don't look good in cool winter colors. And also my features are not that intense, and that I don't have that much contrast where I fall into the winter category. If anything, it might be like a softer winter or a summer, but definitely not cool winter or deep winter. But I realized that the color analysis was wrong because it wasn't in person, and the photo that I submitted wasn't done in the right lighting and all of that kind of stuff. So it picked up the wrong pixels and the wrong segments of color in the photo, and it pegged me as a cool winter when actually I'm not a cool winter. So that really kind of screwed me up, because even looking for foundations for the longest time last year, I was like, oh, I'm a cool season, I'm a cool undertone. Well, that explains why none of these foundations are working for me. And then I kept on, so I've been looking for cool foundations now for the last year. And actually what works best for me is neutral, neither too warm nor too pink. It has to be a truly neutral foundation. That's what works for me. It can't have too much yellow and it can't have too much pink. And I think that also speaks to my wardrobe. You'll notice that in my wardrobe, I don't have super, super warm colors or super, super cool colors, somewhere in the middle. And I can take little bits from either side, I think, because I am fairly neutral. But yeah, so the color season thing has been interesting, because I've just, through trial and error and through looking at my own clothes and through really dissecting my wardrobe and looking at what I actually have and why I think it works or why I don't think it works, it was actually very easy for me to figure out what I think my color season is. And I think I am either a soft spring or a soft autumn. I don't think I'm a true spring or a true autumn. I think I'm somewhere in the middle, because my intensity and my contrast is about the middle. I don't have a super, super high contrast or intensity, and I also don't have a super low contrast or intensity. And my features are neither too dark nor too light, and I have a neutral undertone. I definitely prefer a warmer undertone wardrobe. I definitely look better in autumn colors and spring colors as opposed to summer and winter. However, there are the odd summer and winter I can pull off, but as a rule, it needs to be more neutral or more warm for me to pull it off. So this makes me think maybe I'm not as cool undertoned as I have been thinking I am, and maybe I am truly neutral, and maybe I even do lean a little warm. I'm not sure. The other thing as well is with jewelry, I definitely prefer gold to silver. I also really like pearls. Pearls, again, I would say are fairly neutral because they're a white stone, but they're not a bright, intense, cool white. They're a neutral off-white. So I think that's why pearls work so well for me. They have a lower intensity. But yeah, I definitely look better and feel better in gold compared to silver. The other thing that leads me to think that I'm in autumn or spring season is that my absolute worst colors are the coolest colors, whereas I can pull off some of the more warm ones, but I definitely cannot pull off the cool ones. So like fuchsia, purple, blue, navy blue. I shouldn't say just blue because there's warm and cool blues, but all of the winter colors, just for the most part, do not work for me, including like a stark, bright white. I can do white, but it can't be a bright white. It has to be an off-white or a slightly warmer white. And I think that was what was confusing me for a long time, because I thought that because I could wear white, I was like, well, I know I can't wear black. Like, I've told you guys this for a long time, that black didn't flatter me. So I was like, I know I can't wear black, but I can wear white. So that was confusing me. I was like, well, that says that I am a winter because winter is white. White is in the winter palette, but actually there's warm white and cool white, and I definitely look better in warm white than cool white. So all of this is leaning me toward that I'm one of the warmer seasons. And the other thing is, I also for the longest time thought that I had dark brown eyes. It even says so on my driver's license. And since I was younger, I always thought I had brown eyes. I've always been told I was brown-eyed, but actually if I look closely, and I don't know why I've never really done this before, I guess I've just always thought my eyes were just brown. I wasn't really paying attention to the different facets of brown and like the different undertones and the different little flecks of color. But if I really look closely, I actually have hazel eyes with some brown in them, some like warm honey brown, and also some green. So my eyes are actually more hazel. They are not just a dark, cool brown. So all of these things, again, leading me to think I'm in a warm season. And this has been helping me make declutter decisions, because if, for example, there's a sweater that I never wear and I don't really know why I'm holding on to it, I never wear it, I'm not really sure why, like what's the deal? Actually, if I look at it, it's because it's not in that color season that suits me. It's in a cool color season. And that is probably why I don't reach for that thing. And I wasn't even realizing it. And this also explains why I never reach for my gray handbags. As many of you know, I have a gray handbag from Dior that I've had for many years. And I don't reach for it. I never reach for it, even though it is such a stunning, beautiful bag. It's so pretty. But the reason I don't reach for it is because it doesn't go with most of my wardrobe, which happens to be on the warmer side. Had I gotten a beige one, I would have already gotten so much use out of it. But because it's gray, I don't get a lot of use out of it. This has been very eye-opening for me. And the reason it's really good to know your color season is because it really helps you make purchasing decisions, and it helps prevent you from making mistakes. For example, if you go into a store and you're looking at clothing and you find a sweater that you really like or a shirt that you really like and you want to buy it, and you even try it on in the change room and it looks nice on you, like it fits you and you like it, and then you get it home and you don't wear it for months and months on end. It might be because it's not the right color season and you just didn't really notice that when you tried it on. We buy things thinking they're going to work, and then we get them home and we don't ever wear them, and we wonder why we don't ever wear them. And the next topic is figuring out what my fashion style is in a few descriptive words. And again, this helps to prevent you from making purchasing mistakes. So what I discovered online, and I'll go into more depth maybe in a separate video, is basically this style word wheel where you go through and you figure out, you choose a few words that you think describe your style, what you actually wear, what you would like to wear, and how you want to feel in your clothing. And you make a list of those words, and then it's a method that you use to go through all those words to see if those words truly do describe your style or not. And long story short, what I have realized is that there are sometimes clothing that I purchase thinking it's going to work for me, and I never ever reach for those items. If I go through that list of style words, I realize that it's because it doesn't actually fall under my style. I might have liked it, I might have been influenced to get it, I might have thought that it looked nice in the store, think that it looks nice on other people, but then I get it and I get it home and I never wear it. And the reason is it doesn't align with my fashion style. It doesn't align with my style. So because it doesn't align with the style that is true to me, that article of clothing never gets worn. So it's really important to know what your style is and what your color season is. Those two things honestly make such a huge difference when it comes to curating your wardrobe and figuring out what to purchase and also what to declutter. You might not you might not think that you like everything that's in your color season. A lot of it is just preference. Like if you were to ask me what colors I like, I love gray. I love the color gray. But gray isn't maybe necessarily the best color for me. So there's a difference between you liking something and something actually looking good on you. On the flip side, if you were to ask me if I loved wearing brown or if I loved wearing sage green, I would have said no. But sage green and brown actually really work for me. So it's really interesting. Color season is really interesting because stuff that you think is your color might just be preference, when in actuality it doesn't really complement you and your features all that well. So for example, by the way, I'm out of breath. Sorry, I just came upstairs. I have these two handbags up here that are gray. That one and that one. And I almost never reach for those bags. In fact, I have never reached for that one. This one I do reach for because it has gold on it. So I think that's why it works, because it's got a little bit of warmth added into it. But the other one is just cool on cool on cool. It's like silver and gray. It couldn't be more cool, right? So I always reach for the brown ones. I always reach for the brown tan, and I rarely reach for the cool bags. So that's just an example. Another example is how I've always told you guys I just don't reach for my black shoes, right? I was like, I don't know, I just never reach for them. They're just not my favorite. I think that I look better in brown or beige or tan or skin colored, neutral, nude, whatever. Definitely black is like my least favorite shoe color. And I think that explains why I pretty much never wear these ones. Well, this is why I've never worn these. These are beautiful black Dior slingbacks. They're a very nice shoe. I guess my only saving grace with this shoe is that they're further from my face. So because they're further from my face, I can probably make it work as long as I wear like the appropriate outfit. But like I could wear like, I guess, a cream dress and then these on the bottom and then match it to a black bag or something, and that would be okay. But I think that that just speaks to why I don't reach for black shoes, because again, it just doesn't fall in my color palette, and for some reason I feel better wearing beige, which is why the overwhelming majority of all my shoes are beige, which would be a warm color season. The other thing I was going to tell you, so I just got these from Steve Madden not long ago. These are a pair of Mary Janes. I got them for like fall fashion because I think that Mary Janes are so iconic and I really like them. But because they're black, I honestly think I'm going to gravitate for them very minimally, like a lot less than my other shoes. They did have them in a pair. They did have these in tan. And I was debating, should I get the black ones or the tan ones? And this was a while ago. And if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have bought the beige ones, which were like that color, because I know that they are more cohesive with a head to toe monochromatic, warmer color season. Black is a very cool color and it's a very intense color. And so not very many people can actually wear black, believe it or not. This is what I've learned. I've been doing a lot of watching color analysis videos and doing research on it. And apparently, you know how they say black is like universal? Black is actually not universal. A very small percentage of people can actually wear black near their face. It doesn't complement everyone's features. And for me, I've always told you guys, black washes me out. And so I would always think like, I need a little black dress. I need a little black dress. And I've never had a little black dress, probably because I've never liked how I look in black. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, there's something wrong with me. Like, what's wrong with me that I don't look good in black dresses? Or like, am I weird because I don't like black? It's not that at all. It's that the color is too dark and too intense for me. That is why I never reach for it. So anyway, I really like these shoes though. And if I wear these with like obviously if my clothes fall in my color season, these will be okay because they're further from my face. But I think that just goes to further explain, I think it makes sense. I think that goes to further explain the rationale of why some things work and some things don't. Another interesting thing. So, okay, I have these Valentino Rocksteads. Let's compare those and these. Aside from the fact that the Valentinos have a lot more going on and they're a little bit more kind of edgy looking, I guess, can you tell that they are also a cooler neutral? Both of them are neutral, but these are a cool neutral and these are a warm neutral. Interesting, right? Again, probably speaks to why I always reach for my Louboutins and I never reach for these ones. Not because there's anything wrong with them. And when I look at them, I think, well, those are a neutral. They're light. It falls in all the colors that I think that I like. But if you compare them side to side, look at how incredibly gray toned and cool toned this pair of shoes is compared to the Louboutins. By themselves, they look nude. Next to a truly warm pair of shoes, they're not that nude for me. They are too cool. And again, this is why these shoes flatter me better, because they just go with my skin tone a little bit better and they just are more cohesive for me within my color season. So that really helps to make decisions. Had I known about that, I might have chosen a different pair of shoes or whatever. I've had those shoes for like 3 years, 4 years at this point. Another thing that, just as an example, I can show you, if you look at my dresses that I have here, you can see that all of the dresses, for the most part, kind of fall under the same color family, except there's one oddball, and see if you can figure out what it is before I point it out. I have lots of green dresses, I've got some beige dresses, I've got pinks, actually a lot of autumn colors in there, but can you see what the oddball is? And if you guessed the green polka dot dress, you were right. So this green polka dot dress I actually recently got. It's a very simple, pretty A-line dress. It's actually very elegant. It's got like a little bit of a lantern sleeve. It cinches in at the waist and then flows away. It's a midi length and it's actually a very classy dress. And I posted a picture of myself wearing this on Instagram, and a lot of people wrote me and said they really liked this dress color for me. However, this dress color falls in the winter color palette. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it's not super cool. It's not the coolest green, but it definitely is cooler than like a spring or an autumn green. And it's also just a little bit more intense. It's definitely the oddball in my dress wardrobe at the moment. And so this dress works for me, but not great, not as good as the other ones. I still can wear it because it's green, and green has more yellow than blue, but it definitely is more of a blue based green, if you guys can see that. But I think the reason, like, one of my best colors is actually green. I didn't realize this, but I really do green very well. I think because green just tends to have a little more warmth in it, for one thing. And also green is very autumn. Like, if you think about autumn colors and spring colors, you really think about those greens. But I definitely look better in more of like a sage green or something. Like, I'll show you, for example, like this color of green. This has some green and it's got some like muted lilac and kind of purple in it. But can you see the difference in those two greens? The one on the right is much lighter and warmer, and the one on the left is much darker and bluer, like cooler. And that is why this one works better for me than this one. So now you can really see the difference. And so this helps me because going forward in the future, I can make better choices about what kind of dresses to order, what color of clothing to order, because you have no idea how much easier it is to shop online for clothing when I'm looking online, instead of adding to my cart a dress that I think is really nice and there just might be something about the dress that I like. I think it's a nice dress, right? If I was to get that dress and I was to try it on and it fit and I took off the tags and I put it in my closet, that dress would probably sit there for years and I would never wear it and I wouldn't know why. And I would think, well, why don't I wear this dress? Like, what is it about this dress that I don't like? Can't put my finger on it. It's just every time I go to put it on, I always end up taking it off. There's something about it I don't like. And I bet you 9 times out of 10, it's not in the right color season. It's either too cool or too warm for you, or too light or too dark. You really, like, honestly, understanding your color season makes such a big difference. When I'm going through, for example, a site like Revolve, looking at all of their dresses, or like Boohoo or Abercrombie & Fitch or Aritzia or anything, when I'm scrolling the pages, looking at the dresses and looking at the sweaters, I can immediately pick in my head, I'm like, oh, cool red, warm red, cool red, warm red. But like in the past, I would always be drawn toward the gray stuff just as much as the beige, thinking I like light neutrals. However, it's not just the light neutrals I like the light, slightly warmer neutrals. And there are cool and warm neutrals, which is really confusing because you would think that all neutrals are neutral. Like, the word neutral means neutral. It works for everybody across the board no matter what, but there's actually warm and cool neutrals. So that's where it gets confusing. You would think, well, they're both light neutrals, so like, what's the difference? But one works better than the other. So this is just an example. I'm going to keep the green polka dot dress for now, just because I do really like it. And like I say, it's not bad. It doesn't look terrible on me. It works. It just doesn't work as well as my warmer green dresses. Here's another example. The dress on the right is a lot lighter and warmer, and obviously we have the polka dot one on the left. The one on the right looks so much better on me. And had you asked me this question a year ago, like, hey, you're going to order a dress online, what color are you going to get? Do you want a green, a light, warm green, paisley color, floral print? I would have said, absolutely not. Doesn't work for me. Like, no, I don't like that. When actually it works for me so well. I just never realized it because I wasn't thinking about color season and I wasn't paying attention to what does the color green actually do for me. For me, I was just purchasing based on what I liked. You know, if I saw something that I thought I liked, I would order it. And I used to have a lot of other dresses. I don't know if you guys remember, I had some really colorful dresses. And I had some colorful floral dresses from Ilythia, and I ended up decluttering the blue one rather quickly, like pretty quickly, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I don't know why I don't like this blue dress. Like, what is it about this blue dress? It's exactly the same as the yellow dress, but for some reason I only like the yellow one and not the blue one, even though they were both the same level of intensity, they were both the same depth, they had exactly the same cut, they had exactly the same flowers, but one was a light blue and one was light yellow, and I kept the yellow and decluttered the blue. And now, knowing what I know now, I know that it's because the blue one fell under the summer palette and the yellow one fell under a spring palette, and that is why I liked the yellow one and not the blue one. So yeah, so, like I said, sometimes it's a matter of preference, not a matter of actually what looks good on you. So I would invite you to try to figure out what your color season is, and then go through your wardrobe and ask yourself, does this actually fall under a category of clothing that flatters me, or do I just like the color? Because there's a difference. There's a difference between liking a color and wearing a color that flatters you. Big difference. And basically what happens to me when I put these two garments on, like I said, that one's not bad. But what happens to me is this one kind of overpowers me a little bit. My skin looks a little too pale, and I see the dress before I see myself. And I feel like I have floating head syndrome, where my head is like so much lighter and less intense, and also looks a little off because there's so much coolness in this article of clothing. Whereas when I wear this one, it looks cohesive from my hairline down to my toes. Everything kind of looks cohesive. It looks like my head belongs on that dress. It looks like the dress belongs on me. Like it's a cohesive watercolor painting where everything flows nicely. And my skin looks brighter, and I have this nice, healthy glow to me. And I look younger, and I look fresher, and I look less pale, and all of that kind of stuff. So it really is, and it's something that you don't maybe realize when you try something on, why something does or doesn't work, and you can't figure it out. I bet 9 times out of 10 it's because it is not in your color season. So that's just an example. So this green dress here is the oddball out of everything I have. As you can see, everything is light, soft, and a little bit warm. And then we have this guy who is not light, soft, or warm. So that's the difference. And this will probably be one of my lesser worn clothing items as well because of that, but I still do like it, and I liked it enough to keep it. And I think it's because, like I said, I can do greens because greens have a little bit of yellow in them, which is what makes them green. Otherwise they'd be blue. Here we have another example with my cardigans. Now I like both of these cardigans. The one on the right is a cream colored cardigan from Zara, and the one on the left is a gray one from Clio. The one on the left, however, though, is not a true gray. If you get up close and you really look, it actually does have, it's more of a melange. It's got a little bit of like cream in there. It's got a little bit of beige, and then it's got gray running through it as well. So I would say that this is a very neutral gray. And you would think that gray in and of itself is a neutral color, but actually you've got warm and cool grays. And this one is a more neutral gray. It is a warmer gray. And I think that's why this one flatters me very well. However, this color definitely looks better on me, this sort of light cream colored sweater. This one here, in contrast, is definitely a cooler gray. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the one on the right is definitely more cool. It just has a more cold, cool undertone to it. And this one here, you can see sort of the beige running through it, where this one here is definitely more of a white gray. It's got more of that cool gray to it. However, both of these work for me. I can wear both of them. I wouldn't say that that is the coolest gray that I've ever seen, the most blue base. I still think that is a fairly neutral gray, but it's interesting to me that I only have 2 gray cardigans, and the majority of the rest of my cardigans are all cream or beige or ecru, a soft white, something like that. And I think, again, it speaks to what works for me. And the other thing is too, if you're going to have cool colored cardigans, they're going to be harder to match with your warm dresses because they're not going to go as well as a warm cardigan would go. So again, it really helps you make decisions about what you're going to bring into your wardrobe. If you bring in a whole bunch of warm tops, you know that they're going to go with all of your warm skirts because they're all in the same color family. Whereas if you start mixing and matching cool and warm, it's going to look a little off. So that's another thing that can help you make decisions. Another example is this cardigan here, this brown one from H&M. So this color, I never would have thought to purchase because it's brown. And if you would have asked me, hey, how does brown look on you? Do you like brown? I would have said, no, I don't really like brown. I like more of like the creams and the grays and whatever, because my personal preference was I just preferred like light neutrals. That was my personal preference. However, this color actually looks really, really good on me. It flatters my skin tone. It looks very cohesive with my eye color, with my hair color. It actually works for me so well. It makes me feel really good. It gives me a natural warmth. I will say it is a touch on the dark side. It could be just a little bit lighter. So the depth is maybe not right for me, but the undertone is right for me. So this one works. Despite being a little too dark, it's not that it looks terrible, but it is a little bit on the deep side for me, but still falls in an autumn palette, as you can see, which again lends me to feel like I am a soft spring to a soft, light autumn. Another shirt that I want to share with you guys, this is kind of a little epiphany that I had. So this is obviously a black striped sweater. However, it's not just a black and white striped sweater. It is a warm black and white striped sweater. I don't know if you can see, but the color of white is not a stark, bright, vivid, cold winter white. It's an off-white, it's a cream color. And so, you know how the striped shirts are always trending and like the striped cardigans, there's so many of them. I've tried on countless striped tops, you guys, and been like, why is this not working for me? Something about this is not working for me. And the reason being, it was because it was primarily a white sweater with the stripes. This one works for me because majority of it is cream. And so even though there is a little bit of black, it doesn't overpower me and it doesn't look harsh. And also the black stripes are very minimal and thin. I don't think it would have worked if it was a black sweater with cream stripes. I think that would have been too dark. But because there's a lot of cream up near the face, this one works. In contrast to something like this, I want to show you this t-shirt here. Now you can really see the difference. This is a cold white and this is a cream. Can I compare it to even something even a little bit better? Okay, let's compare this. Okay. You would say that the cardigan on the right is white, wouldn't you? It's white, it's ecru, whatever, it's a light color. However, it has so much more yellow in it than the shirt. And so you can really see, you can see the difference. You can see why the ones on the right work for me, and this shirt, for some reason, isn't my best color. So this is how I styled that shirt to make it work for me. So even though it is and I realized this after I purchased it, that it is a crisp, vivid, cool white. It's definitely a winter white. And so just that by itself is a little too much for me. And if I was to wear head to toe crisp white like that, it would be too much for me. It would overpower me. There's too much blue in that white. However, when I pair it with what I previously thought was a white skirt, but it's actually not white, it's a birch color, which is like an off-white, which is extremely flattering, this one here. When I pair this shirt with this skirt and then put a cream colored cardigan on top of it, or an ecru cardigan, that actually worked so well. So I tucked in this shirt into that skirt and then I put a cardigan on top and just left the cardigan unbuttoned so you could still see the shirt. It just made it work for me. So it's not to say that I can't make certain colors work. They just have to be more minimally done and they can't overpower the entire outfit. So similarly, I think I can still do the shoes, the black shoes. I just have to do them in the right way. But it's just good to note going forward. So next time I go looking for a shirt, I'm going to look for a white shirt that has more yellow in it as opposed to a white shirt that has more blue in it. By themselves, you would say that that's a white skirt, right? In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what the color of this skirt is. I'm pretty sure it was the Wilfred skirt in the color white. But yeah, it's a stark contrast to something that is actually winter white. Big difference. But they look really nice together because they're all neutral as well. So yeah, that's another, it just helps you to look at your wardrobe a little bit differently. Just one other example of something that objectively I would have said I didn't like, but once I get it, it actually works really, really well for me. So this dress here, this gingham print, sort of cream color with the beige checkers on it. To me, when I look at this, like had I not tried this on, I would have said, this looks like a paper bag. Like this looks like a paper bag. There's no way that that's going to be flattering. I'm going to look terrible in that. Actually, it looks so nice. The shape of the dress, the cut of the dress, the way the sleeves are made, like the little bit of a poofiness and the ruffliness, the fact that it flows away from the waist. It's got almost an empire waist because the waist sits a little bit higher on the dress. Extremely flattering for my figure, but also the color season is cohesive with me. It flatters my skin tone, it flatters my hair, it flatters my eyes, everything about it. Again, it's like a watercolor painting where everything flows together and looks really, really nice. Had this been blue, which was the original one I was going to get, I was tempted to get a blue one. It wouldn't have worked, and I wouldn't have been able to put my finger on why doesn't it work. I would have thought, oh, it's just like the print or something about it, like I just can't do this style of dress, whatever. I would have written it off and not really understood or known why it wasn't working. And it would have been because it would have been the wrong color season. It would have been a summer dress rather than a spring or an autumn. So yeah, it just makes such a big difference when you start noticing these things and you start understanding and you start seeing these things. It's amazing the difference that it makes. All right, so this brings me to my declutters. I'm going to share with you guys the stuff I'm decluttering and tell you why I'm decluttering it. So these 4 pairs of shoes are going. So this pair of shoes here, super cute, just got them. Love everything about them. These are perfect in so many ways. They are in my color season. Check. They are elegant, feminine, simple, neutral. So they check off all those boxes. They've got pearls, which I love. They are a neutral, but they're not a cool neutral. These are a warm neutral. Don't know if you can see the difference, but these are definitely not a stark bright white the way the dresser is. They are a cream colored shoe. So these are amazing for me. However, what I've noticed when I put them on, I've been trying to style them lately. I've been trying to style them more often, and they make my feet look really wide. I don't know if it's because they're just not made like elongated enough or something, but they make my feet look super wide and super stubby. I don't know if it's because they're an almond toe or like a round toe instead of a pointy toe. Something about them, they just make me feel like I'm in kindergarten. I really liked them when I first got them, and I still do like them because I love everything about them. The fact that they're the pearls and the color and everything. They're from Steve Madden. I've literally only worn them out of the house once. And by the way, everything will be on my Poshmark. If anybody's interested, I'm going to post everything that you see today in today's video on my Poshmark, and it's going to be extremely cheap because I just want to get rid of them. I want to recoup a little bit of money, but I want them also to go to a good home. So brand new, no stains, no signs of wear at all. They've literally been outside of the house once. The next pair of shoes, now these ones actually have gotten a ton of wear, but they still look really good and they don't really have any signs of wear. They're in really good condition. You can see that I've worn them a few times. They're still in great condition though. I think even the backs are like perfect. These are from Steve Madden and they're a cap toe flat and they resemble the Chanel shoes. The difference here, these ones have more of an almond toe as opposed to a round toe, and they don't make my feet look or feel wide, and they do elongate my foot and make me look a little bit taller as a result. Love the color. They're a true neutral. They go with everything. They're super sophisticated. They're definitely a me shoe, but they hurt my feet. So I don't know if it's just the shape of my feet. It really is only my one foot, and I can't remember which foot it is right now, but it starts to hurt right there. I think it's just this one foot, but right here starts to kind of hurt a little bit when I wear them. They're very comfortable otherwise, and they might feel fine for your feet. It's just for me, it just doesn't work there. So that's the way it is. So these are great. The other thing is I also have another pair of shoes very, very similar that are the cap toe sling back, like low heel. And so they're so similar that I'm like, if I'm going to wear one, I could wear the other. I don't really need both. I still would like to get a pair like this that are like the cap toe flats, or maybe just a plain old beige pair with no black, just all beige. The next pair that's going to go, these ones, again, these really surprised me. And this was a purchase that I made on Zara, I want to say in spring or maybe last winter. And I saw them styled on the model. And again, of course, the models always make things look nice, right? And I was thinking, well, they're black, they're a good basic. Everybody needs a good black ballet flat. Again, You do not need a good black anything. You do not need a good white anything. You just need what flatters you the most. And for some reason, when I put these on, I just wish they were beige. There was something wrong. Like I put them on and they looked fine. I tried to style them a couple different times, but for some reason they just didn't quite work. And I was thinking like, well, for winter, I should be wearing a black shoe, but that's not true at all. For winter, you can definitely wear a brown shoe or a beige shoe. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to follow all the rules where people say you can only wear white a certain time of year and you can only wear black a certain time of year and you can only wear, going to a funeral, for example, you should always wear black. You don't have to wear black. You could wear like a really dark brown. You can wear a dark, like burgundy. Like you don't have to wear black. Black doesn't work for everybody, and I just don't tend to gravitate toward black shoes. So these ones, when I had them on, I was like, you know what? I really like them. I like the shape. I love how they make my foot look elongated. I like that they're a Mary Jane flat with a square toe. Super cute, super sophisticated. They suit my aesthetic in every way except the color just doesn't look that great on me. And I prefer a head to toe cohesive monochromatic look. Now these ones I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't think they really suit my aesthetic anymore. I like them, but again, this is a matter of taste and preference. I like these, but I don't really know if they suit my current taste or my current aesthetic. The color is good. The color season is good. They are practical. They are feminine. I got these are some Toms. I got them last year. These are a 7.5. They fit like a 7.5 to an 8. Like they are a little bit on the smaller side, but overall they're pretty good. And they're just like a really good basic, comfortable. I like that they're low profile. Like they're that kind of Chelsea boot, but they're a low profile. And they show lots of your ankle, like they show your like lateral malleolus and stuff like that, which is your ankle bone. And they're not pointy, but they're not square. They're a nice like almond toe. So I was thinking like, I still like these, but I don't know if I'm going to reach for them. If I'm going to wear boots, I'm going to go with either my winter boots for walking my dog, or I'm going to go with a pointed toe like heeled boot if I want to be a little bit more sophisticated and chic. That's just what I seem to like the best. I like the pointy toes. I like a little bit of a heel. I'm just trying to think like what occasion and with what would I put these. I wouldn't wear these with a dress. I don't wear jeans, so that's out of the question. I don't wear pants really, so that's out of the question. And I don't think they would go with any of my skirts. It just wouldn't be a vibe. Like they're a little bit too Western. They're almost like too country Western vibe for me. I got them because actually when I used to go for like education days in the wintertime, I thought that they were a good shoe for just like a practical fall shoe. Truth be told, I don't find them all that comfortable, and it's about how you feel too. How do you feel when you wear something? Objectively, great shoe. But for me, how do I feel? And I don't feel like my best version of myself. So I think that my money could be better spent elsewhere. So these I'm going to try to sell as well. So those are my 4 pairs of shoes that I am letting go of. So I'm just going to hang things on the door here and tell you guys why I'm letting go of them. So this blue dress actually was down in my declutter bin because when I first tried it on, when I first got it, I didn't really think it was the greatest quality. And also I just didn't love it. I didn't love how it made me feel. This was like probably 2.5, 3 months ago. And now that I'm looking at it, can you guys tell what the problem is? It's very simple. And well, there's a couple things. Number one, it's a little too showy for me. It shows quite a bit of cleavage and it has a corset style back. So I don't think I would put this on day-to-day life. Like I might wear it with my boyfriend if we were on vacation, we were going out for a brunch, say we were in Miami, right? I would want to dress for the occasion. So I would want to dress maybe a little bit more flirty for the hot weather. And, I feel like this would be a good dress to wear out for brunch in Miami. Not like a typical day-to-day going to run errands, going to the post office. It's just a little too showy for me. Not conservative enough, I guess. But the other issue is it is blue. So that puts this dress probably in a summer palette, I would say, because it has white and then it has a softer, lower intensity blue color. And when I put this on, it was flattering in terms of the shape. The shape looked really nice, but it didn't quite work. There was something about it that wasn't harmonious with me, and I never could put my finger on it. But now that I know what I know now, after doing my learning about color seasons, I can see why this blue dress doesn't work. And I don't know if you guys remember me telling you in the past, I would say, I'm really looking for a blue floral dress. I'm looking for a blue floral skirt. And I never could find the right blue floral anything. And now I know why. It's because it's not the right color season. So this dress is going to go. And again, everything you see here will be posted on my Poshmark. All right, this next dress is the Sunday Best Viola dress from Ilythia. Now, this dress, I really liked it when I first got it. I still think that it does look nice on me. It fits me, and it's a nice dress. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think here, it's not so much a matter of the color of the dress, although it is a bit of a cooler white. It still is not a stark white. I would say it's more of a muted white. But the issue here, I think, is just my style. I think my style has just changed. I am not likely to wear this dress, except maybe to go out for dinner or something in the evening in a warm climate or something like that, but I'm not likely to put it on during the day. I kind of like my short sleeve dresses, my cap sleeves, my poof sleeves, my long sleeves, my lantern sleeves, or I like to wear like a cardigan over top. And this one also does have quite a high thigh slit. It's a rather sexy dress. It's like a sexy summertime dress, but I just don't think it suits my current style aesthetic anymore. I just think my tastes have changed. I think my style has changed. This is the dress that I used to have in blue floral that I decluttered. And I also used to have it in the light yellow floral, which actually worked for me. Like the colors were really nice. But again, it just came down to a style thing. This dress, it kind of makes me a little bit sad to get rid of it because I have so much history with it, but it is time for it to go. It's actually a really nice dress. It's from Eliza J. It's a cold shoulder or open shoulder dress with a little bit of a like a mid-length lantern sleeve, and it has, otherwise it's just like a shift shape. So it's not A-line, it doesn't cinch in at the waist or anything, and then it's got a halter neckline. This one I actually had altered. I did have it shortened, and I really like it. It's a size 2, I believe. It's a beautiful cream color. The color is so flattering for me, which now I understand why. This was always one of my favorite dresses, and now I understand why. I actually used to get a ton of compliments on this dress, and I wore it when I was out with my boyfriend the first time we went down to Las Vegas, which was years ago now. And so I do have some sentimental attachment to this dress, a little bit of sentimental memories, but I just think, again, it comes down to style. I am just in a different phase of my life. I'm wanting to wear things that I'm wanting to make the most out of my years that I have. And I don't know, I want to wear more dresses that make me feel glamorous and super feminine and just like my best self. I'll show you an example. So I think it's just a matter of changing style. I definitely prefer something that is a little bit more figure flattering and hugs my curves a little bit more. So the one on the left is a beige or tan fabric with some cream colored lace on top. It's not a super stark white. It's more of an off white, which is very flattering for me. Sweetheart neckline, bustier style top. It's got some ruching. It is a midi maxi length, so it's not super, it's not short, but it's not super conservative either because it does show a little bit of my chest, which is what I like. I think that this is my most flattering style of dress for nights out. I have a couple different dresses that are this shape, and they just make me feel my best. They're kind of like that old Hollywood. They're like a cross between a Marilyn Monroe kind of thing meets a Sofia Vergara, but still like, you know, moderately conservative, but still bombshell, if you know what I mean. Whereas the one on the right, I really like it. It's fine. It's nice, but it just doesn't suit my style aesthetic anymore, especially for going out. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel feminine. I want to feel beautiful. I want to enjoy this style of dress while I can because right now in my life, I'm all about every day is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity to feel your best. Every day is an opportunity to live your best life and to put your best foot forward. And don't save your best stuff for special occasions. Don't save that beautiful, sultry, feminine dress for New Year's Eve only. Wear it when you go out for dinner. Wear it when you go out for drinks. Be your best self every day, right? And the one on the right just no longer makes me feel like my best self. I used to really like it, but it no longer kind of falls in line with what I like. This dress here, I think you can figure out why it's going to go. Now, this is a blue floral dress. It isn't a super cool blue. It is a little bit softer and more muted. I would say this is almost a neutral blue, but it's kind of like yellow. You can have a cooler yellow, but yellow is still yellow, right? And you can have a warmer blue, but blue is still blue because blue has a lot of blue in it and yellow has a lot of yellow in it. So I think orange is the warmest color and blue is the coolest color. And so yeah, blue can be soft and blue can be neutral and blue can be a little warmer, but it's still blue. And for me, it just isn't my best color. So I like this dress. This is a super cute sort of milkmaid style dress. The only way I would wear this would be with a sweater on top, some sort of a sweater tucked into a belt maybe, and then the bottom to be left open and flowy. I like it, but I don't like the spaghetti straps. And also it's harder for me to work with because it is blue. I think it's pretty. I love it. I would like bedding in this print. I would like bathroom vanity set in this print where you have like the cup and the toothbrush holder and stuff. I would like a tablecloth in this print. I would like pillows for my couch in this print. But I love it. So again, it's a matter of like, just because you like something doesn't mean it's necessarily your best color. This one here, nice dress, definitely suits my current style. It is traditional looking, it's feminine, it's a little bit more romantic and a little bit more traditionally feminine, and I really like it. But you might be able to figure out what the problem is, and the problem is the color as well. It's got the purple on it, and I'm a little bit annoyed because I'm past the return period, and when I first got this dress, I couldn't figure out what I didn't like about it. I was like, it's nice, but something's off. And I kind of knew it was the purple because I know that I don't like purple. But I thought that I might be able to make it work anyway. But honestly, I've been trying it on and I just know that I'm not likely to pick it. I'm always going to choose my off-white ones or my white ones that I can pair with like a cream colored sweater or something. This one here is really nice. This is from Ilythia. It is a Wilfred dress and it is like a crochet kind of fitted beachy type of summer dress. Super flattering, looks really nice. My problems with it, it is a very cool, like not cool in terms of the color, but it's too cool for me. I get cold. It is perforated because it's crocheted. So you have to wear something underneath, or you could use it as like a beach cover up. You could wear it over top of a bathing suit. It also has a high thigh slit. So really like, it's just not my most ideal thing to wear if I'm in an air-conditioned climate. I would wear this if I went down to like Mexico or something as a beach cover-up or out to dinner or for lunch. But also I just prefer like my style these days is a little bit more flowy. This one is like fitted from top to bottom and I used to like it. It's also got a very deep V. You can't really wear a proper bra with it. You have to wear just like pasties or something like that. And I just think there's too many things with it. Like last time I went on vacation, I actually brought it with me intending to wear it for a day and I tried it on multiple days while I was there. It just didn't feel right any of those days. So one of those things that was a mistake again, like I got it and then it sat in my wardrobe. So I've never worn it. It is brand new. It's really nice, a really nice dress. The color is right. The color is right, but the cut is not right for me and the practicality and stuff. I think it's just like a style issue. My style is just different now. So I'm going to try going a little bit faster because I still have a few things on the bed and this video is already getting to be very long, but this sweater is going to go. It makes me really sad because this sweater has so many things about it that I love and it's still brand new with tags. It's from Zara and it is like a wool blend and it has pearls on it. The color is right, the fabric is right, the cut is right, the pearls are right. Everything about it I love. The issue is that I have nothing to wear it with. Because of the pearls on the bottom, the pearls make it rather heavy and also it's really hard to tuck this shirt in because some of the pearls kind of hang over the edge and it looks a little bit weird. I tried wearing this the other day tucked into a pleated skirt and it just did not work. It just looked very strange. This shirt originally came with a mini skirt that also had pearls on it and they no longer have that mini skirt in stock. Otherwise I would just get it and wear it as a full head to toe ensemble. But so essentially I just have nothing to wear this with. Like I don't like the way it looks over top of any of my dresses. If it was a cropped sweater, that would be okay, but it hits at the hips and so it's just a little bit too long and it's not really tuckable for me. So this dress as well, I think is just a matter of maybe changing taste. Like this one might have been a little bit of a rash decision. I kind of wanted to try it on with something else and just see if I could make it work by like tucking a sweater into a belt or something underneath. Yeah, the color is good, the shape is good. Not a fan of the skinny straps so much. I just feel like maybe it's just a matter of changing tastes, honestly. It's a really pretty dress. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't know if it's me anymore. This is one that I might want to try on one more time with a sweater and just like put a belt on and tuck the bottom of the sweater up underneath the belt and see if I can make it look like a skirt / sweater outfit. But honestly, once you have to start fiddling around that much, it's like, if you have to go through all that trouble to make the dress work, then I almost don't even want to use it because I could just put a sweater with a skirt if that's the case. And I have a lot of skirts. You know, the thing about skirts is skirts have the perfect shape. Like the skirts flow away. They're skinny and then they flow. So they're perfect. The dress might be too boxy. It might be too up and down to wear with a sweater, if that makes sense. And when I'm wearing a sweater or a cardigan with a skirt or with a dress, I like to have that feminine silhouette where it comes in at the waist and flows away. Now I have 3 of these long sleeve white t-shirts. You guys will know if you have been watching my channel that I love these long sleeve white t-shirts from Everlane. They're my favorite ones. This one here still has a tag on it because I bought it as a backup because my other 2 I wore so much. And I still really love them. I think again, it's just that because I have switched primarily to wearing dresses in the summertime, I don't really know when I will wear this shirt. So it is quite a bright white as well, which isn't my best shade against my face. I think the reason it works is because it's not like super saturated. It's a little bit sheer, like it's not really sheer, but it's not super opaque either. So it's not like harsh, like you can still see my skin a little bit underneath it, which softens it a little bit. So I think that's why this worked really well. And my favorite way to wear these long sleeve t-shirts was tucked into a skirt. But what I have discovered is that for summertime, I prefer dresses. Like if it's summertime, I'm putting on a dress. I'm not like, once I started wearing dresses in August this year, I did not reach for this shirt once to wear with a skirt. It just was not my vibe anymore. It just didn't work. When it comes to fall and winter, I really like my skirts because fall and winter, you can always pair a skirt with a sweater and it looks amazing. Like a skirt with a sweater is perfect fall attire. It's feminine and it's flowy, but it's still warm. Whereas summertime, I prefer my dresses, my short sleeve dresses and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to think like, when will I wear this shirt? The only time that I thought I would wear this shirt would be for like a layering thing, if I wanted to layer it underneath a sweater with a skirt or something just to stay warm in the fall. But honestly, I really don't know if I'll do that. I think the sweaters are good enough. And I tried wearing this the other day with a skirt with a cardigan over top, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the way it made me feel. It felt very bulky. I wasn't loving the crew neck. I just honestly think my style has changed. This is a beautiful dress that I'm kind of sad to be letting go of, but at the same time, I feel like it's necessary. I bought this from Ilythia back before summer. It was a really nice dress. I loved it when I first got it. And it's one of those dresses I just haven't worn since. I have brought it with me when I went out of town. I tried it on. I was going to wear it for a night out. It just did not work. So it's got the skinny spaghetti straps. It's a very classy, elegant looking dress. It would be great for like a night out, but I have better dresses. I have dresses that flatter me a little bit better. There's something about it. Like, I don't know. I really liked it when I first got it, but plain and simple, I just don't reach for it. I don't like the way it looks now. So the reason I'm letting go of these sweaters, and again, I'm going to put these downstairs in a bin and see if I miss them, but the reason I'm letting go of these again is for the same reason as the long sleeve white t-shirts. They're really nice. This one is like a semi-sheer sweater, and it's from Wilford. It's from Ilythia. I really like it because for a while there, I was really into the semi-sheer sweater trend where you wear like a bandeau top underneath, like not just a straight up like bra or whatever, but a bandeau top, something that was like a contrasting color or whatever. And I really liked the way it looked. I thought it was very airy, but it's just not something I'm really into anymore. I'm kind of over it. It was a very short-lived fad for me. And yeah, I just don't desire to wear it anymore. And the other thing is because, like I say, aside from wearing this with a skirt, which I haven't been doing, I really don't know when I'm going to wear it. Okay, this skirt, super cute. Definitely has been my aesthetic for a while, but it's gonna go. This was an example of one of those skirts I would have worn with a long sleeve white t-shirt tucked in. I really liked the aesthetic. I liked the vibe. I liked the way it looked. This one I'm not going to sell. I'm going to hold on to it because I still really, really like this skirt. And I don't know, like, there might come a point when I do want to revisit that style again. And I don't want to not have these items to play with. If in 6 months to a year, I try styling it again and I just don't like it anymore, I still don't like it, then I'll let it go. But this is like a slip skirt that hits just below the knee or just above the knee. Yeah, just above the knee. It's from Ilythia. I really like it. I love the color. Very simple. I've worn this a ton. I have worn it out on dates. I've worn it for daytime wear. It's just like a really basic skirt that has a lot of elements that I like to it. It's a neutral color. It's got lace detail. It's got a cute little bow on top. Very me, but just not jiving with anything in my wardrobe at the moment. This dress is one that I got from a relatively cheap place a couple months ago when I was looking for more dresses to bring into my wardrobe, and it is a midi lace skirt, so it hits just below the knee. It's rather nice, I don't mind it, but it is a little bit kind of too lacy for me. I think I don't enjoy wearing a lace skirt maybe. I do like chiffon, I do like tulle, I do like satin. I like boucle fabrics, I like wool blends, I like linen blends, but I'm not crazy about the lace for some reason. This is also a very cool white. It's a very stark, cool white. I wore this skirt one day and I wasn't feeling myself. I was not feeling my best, and I have not wanted to reach for it since. So in theory, it was okay. I liked it when I first tried it on, but since that day, I haven't been liking it. I have so many other skirts that I do love, so this one's just kind of a very easy declutter for me. And this is the last item that I'm sharing with you guys that I'm decluttering today. Well, I haven't done my dresser yet, but I might have to save that for another video because this is way too long already. But this is a jersey blend skirt with a faux wrap. So this one is a midi to a maxi. It's actually quite classy. It's tighter at the waist. It's rather high-waisted, fitted around the hips. This is one that I think I'm going to put in the bin and hold on to because it is a really nice skirt. Very classy, very elegant. I like the length. I like the faux wrap. I like that it's a little bit more figure flattering, figure hugging. I'm just trying to think like what would I wear it with. Honestly, guys, like I have found that I just love dresses so much that skirts for me, they have to be a certain kind of skirt. Like I would wear this if it was a dress, which I actually have this exact dress or this exact skirt in dress form because I got them both from Ilythia, and I like the dress version still. But this skirt, I don't know. I'm like looking at the stuff I have and I don't know what I would wear it with. This is the type of skirt I would have worn with a long sleeve white t-shirt tucked in because I really liked the silhouette that it gave. But like I said, I'm not really into that silhouette at the moment. But it's such a pretty skirt and it's really good fabric, really good material. I don't want to not have it if in the future I decide I do want to try wearing a faux wrap skirt like this. So this one I think is going to go in my bin. And again, if I don't reach for it or miss it in 6 months to a year, then I will declutter it. Okay, so the skirt on the left I like better, I think because it's A-line. So I don't know if you guys are noticing a trend, but I prefer things that have that classic feminine silhouette where they flow away from the waist for casual wear. For going out in the evening, I definitely prefer something a little bit more fitted, more of like a mermaid style or trumpet style or bodycon with some ruching. That's what I like for like going out. That's when I want to feel sexy. You know, during the daytime, I want to be pretty, elegant, more conservative, feminine, beautiful, traditional, all those things. For going out, I definitely prefer something that's a little bit closer to the body, but without showing too much leg is kind of like what I like. But this one's great because it's a knit blend, like this one here. Knit blend, mixed media, has a little bit of a ruffle detail on the bottom, very warm, very thick, but also still an A-line, still a feminine silhouette. So I'm really learning like, you know, what's my color season and also what is my style and how do I like the cuts to sit on my body. So this one here just isn't my fave anymore. So yeah, but I am going to hold on to the one on the right just in case. So that was it for today's declutter video. I hope that you guys really enjoyed and I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Bye for now.